So what you just saw was a snippet of what I shot in Japan of last year, graded on Dehancer Pro. And Dehancer Pro reached out to me about a month ago and asked me if I wanted to review their plugin for Davinci Resolve. And I said, yeah, let's do it. So full disclaimer, this is not a sponsored video. Everything that I say and I do is all my honest opinion. They did not tell me what to say. And in fact, they actually wanted an honest video so that way they can improve on their plugin. So in addition, I was given a 1-month trial of Dehancer Pro to kind of highlight the features and see what I like about it, and then also talk about things that they could improve on and maybe some things that I also didn't like about it. So with that being said, let's get onto it. And what is Dehancer Pro? Dehancer is a professional film emulation plugin that allows you to simulate the characteristics of film in digital video. It allows you to turn ordinary video footage into videos that look like they were shot on film. Characteristics such as film grain, halation, bloom, film breadth, and gate weave. Using Dehancer Pro is pretty simple. You just basically drag onto a node, choose your camera profile, and then you go on to film. There's over 60 film stocks you can choose from. You select the type of print that you want. And this is where the fun comes in, because you get to mix and match. By mixing and matching, you can kind of create your own unique look tailored to your video. Another nice addition to the plugin is overscan. And these are typically things that I use a lot. And to be able to kind of customize it within the plugin is very helpful for me to achieve that analog film look that I usually use for my intros. It's also worth mentioning that Dehancer Pro also has an iOS app, which is kind of good if you want the flexibility of the Dehancer Pro plugin on DaVinci but on your phone. You get the same film stocks and also the film prints, and you also can adjust every single parameter just like the plugin. So right now I'm going to show you guys how I use Dehancer to color grade my travel videos, and it's not going to be a very in-depth tutorial, and nor am I a professional color grader. So I'm just going to do how I usually do it, and usually I start off by creating 2 nodes and then slapping Dehancer at the very end of the node. And as you can see, right when I put it on, it looks funky. Currently, our footage isn't color space transformed yet. So we're gonna just go down to the drop down menu and choose camera. And then it's nice that they have this built in, because you can also do it yourself through DaVinci's color space, but it's really convenient just to have it like in the menu system in Dehancer. So that's really nice. So the next thing you would choose is just the camera make and model. So mine, I shot this footage on a Sony FX30 cinema line. Then choose the ISO, which is 800 S-Log3 S-Cam at 3.cine. As you can see, it's still kind of funky looking. From what I've noticed with Dehancer is you kind of have to adjust a bunch of settings before you can get the image to look how you want it to look. So for now, I know that I'm going to try my favorite, which is the Kodak Vision 3 500T from this list. Okay, it's looking a little bit better. And then now we have to choose the print. I'm gonna try the Fujifilm. Okay, so there's some type of like colors going on over there. It does look like my footage is a little darker, so I'm gonna actually just go over here and raise it a little. Okay. Then usually I kind of color boost the footage a little, so I'll go into my previous node and do that. Color boost it. Already it's looking pretty awesome at this point. And And then I'll usually go to color warper and then start fooling around with that and seeing how I can make things a little bit more color oriented. And again, this is all to taste. So yeah. So go back to Dehancer. And Dehancer's film developer also does a bunch of things. You just gotta enable it. They also have a color boost section too, so the push and pull. Film compression is more so the highlights. See the highlights going on and off. Yeah. Alright, and then color head is also another area that you would use if you really wanted to finesse the look of the film. Okay, that looks pretty good. And again, you can pretty much like do this a lot and then kind of find what you're looking for. So by default, film grain is kind of already added, and as you can see, it's pretty pixelated already. So sometimes I usually just dial it down unless I'm really intentional. And then halation is one of the characteristics of film. And you might be able to see it. Barely, just barely. Bloom is like kind of like a black pro mist. Once you put it on, it softens the image. And again, you can adjust it, and usually I kind of go 16, just so it's not as crazy. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's talk about what I liked about Dehancer Pro. And Dehancer Pro kind of takes color grading to the next level. And by next level, I mean, makes it really easy and fun. Normally, when I shoot travel videos, I'm always thinking about the color grade. Every single footage I've dragged into Dehancer Pro has been phenomenal. And I think the fact that you have a bunch of film stocks and some prints, and you can combine, mix and match any of these combinations together for a finite possibility is pretty impressive. Because I found myself using film prints and stocks that I've never even heard of. The second thing is the amount of control that you get within the plugin itself. I mean, film grain, halation, the bloom, the damage, the breath, the gate weave, you can control every single aspect down to whatever small little thing that makes these attributes like film. And I found that to be really helpful because as someone that really wants more control with their image, this is really helpful for letting me achieve the analog film look. The other thing that I really like about Dehancer Pro that no one really talks about is the LUT generator. And it's really nice because if someone doesn't have Dehancer Pro and you want to send them the color grade, you can export out a LUT with all the film bloom and the halation and stuff onto it, so then that way they can put it onto their computer and then like work on the color grade as they go. I found that really helpful when I was color grading my friend's short film, because obviously they don't have Dehancer Pro, and if I was to send something with Dehancer Pro on, they would be required to have it. So it's nice that they have this option where if someone doesn't have it, they can still work on the grade. So there's a couple things that I didn't really like about Dehancer Pro, and one of them is that not every camera profile is in the plugin itself. I noticed this when I tried putting in my DJI Osmo Pocket 3 to color grade it, and realized that it wasn't on the list of camera profiles that was on the plugin. So maybe they'll have that in the future, but as of right now, there is none. The second thing is probably the performance hit. And this happens when you put like film grain, bloom, halation, and all the other effects and stuff on there, and it starts bogging down your computer. And for reference, I have a M1 Max 64 gig MacBook Pro, and I actually got couple times where the frames kept dropping and the playback would be really laggy, and I've actually never had that problem before, so this is very new. So I honestly hope that in the future Dehancer addresses this and maybe they'll improve on it in the near future. The third thing is the user interface, and while I like the dragging and sliding the knobs, I think the moment you put on Dehancer Pro, you're kind of like bombarded with a bunch of menu items, and they're all expanded. Dehancer, if you are watching this video, I think it would be a good idea to collapse all the menus so that we aren't bombarded with so much information that we're kind of overwhelmed. So the last thing is the price, and I think the price is a big factor in this because it's actually a lot. And I think for $449, it's gonna split the consumers into two categories: people that do this for a living and people that do this for fun. Coming from the price point, I think this is more for the professionals out there that need to be able to save time and worry about other things. The fact that all the menus are already there in one panel is really nice, so that you don't have to spend time looking for everything. I do that a lot, so this is also really good for those that are not too savvy about color grading and just want everything in one place instead of going all over Davinci Resolve. So with that being said, there's also a big learning curve to this plugin. Originally I thought it was more along the lines of you just click a couple buttons and then like you get the effect that you want, but a lot of it has to deal with you coloring and tinkering all the settings, every single setting in this plugin, and you can really dial in what you really want to see and do. So keep that in mind because it might take some time, but once you get the hang of it, you can pretty much color grade pretty fast. And I found this out within like maybe like a week, that I could color grade really fast and have turnarounds within like 5 minutes. So in a sense, I think this is perfect for those types of situations. So if you guys want to try out Dehancer Pro for yourselves, you can use my discount code Alan at checkout for 10% off all their products except for the iOS app. So if you guys like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.